We're continuing to look at alternatives to punishment for teenagers. We're journeying through the book, How to Talk So Teens Will Listen and Listen So Teens Will Talk by Faber and Maslish. And last week we talked about clearly stating your feelings. And we looked at the example of a mother whose teenage daughter said she was going to go to a party. The mother called there. The girl wasn't there. The mother at the party was a little frantic. The mother of the daughter that went that wasn't there was a little frantic. The daughter comes home and the mother clearly stated her feelings. I won't go over all that again, but the second point is state your expectations, not only your feelings, but your expectations. And let's just take the same scenario as Faber and Maslish do in this comic as an example in the chapter on this topic. And let's say that the girl says to her mother, well, I met this boy in my class and we were talking and I guess I forgot the time. Now that could go all kinds of ways. You know, the mother could say, you and those stupid boys. Or she could say something like, your relationships with boys are not as important as your relationship with your parents. Or she could have just gone off in all kinds of directions. But instead, she clearly stated her feelings by saying, Kelly, I expect when you say you're going to be somewhere at a certain time that you'll be good to your word, that you'll be true to your word. Now, this is a clear expectation of feelings, and this is completely appropriate. This is helpful for so many reasons, but one of the things is, instead of this ambiguous, you're irresponsible, it specifically defines what the expectation is. When you say you're going to be somewhere at a certain time, be true to your word. This isn't just about what your parent wants, it's about how it's impacting the people with whom you have relationship. This is about character development for you. This is about integrity in your own life. So there's an expectation here, and kids will tend to generally rise to our expectations sooner or later. If we expect them to be screw-ups and failures, and we tell them that if they had a brain in their head, they'd be dangerous, then they'll tend to rise to that lower level. But if we set the bar reasonably and realistically high and clear, they will tend to rise to that level. And telling your child that if you're going to be somewhere, when you say you're going to be there, be true to your word, is reasonable. It's not unrealistic. It's not unreachable. So state your feelings and state your expectations. And you can state your expectations in a sentence or in a phrase. You don't have to do it with a long speech. There are some people who write these things down and make them artistic and put a frame around it and put it on the wall in their house or in their kid's bedroom about certain things or values of the family. Those are good too. Any kind of constant reminder that doesn't come in the form of a lecture or put downs or preaching or criticism is actually a helpful and positive thing. We'll talk more about this on the next edition of Parenting Matters with McCracken.